All right, it is time for election coverage, and tonight our attention is on the city of Everett. Mayor Cassie Franklin is asking for another term after 8 years on the job. Her challenger, Scott Murphy, is trying to unseat her. We've interviewed both candidates, and today we are hearing from Franklin on various issues. Here's a portion of our conversation. One of the things that you mentioned as your #1 priority in your last State of the City address, so you talked about public safety, something that you have talked a lot about. You gave several directives on what you wanted to focus on. In the last 4 months, can you give us any quantitative results from those directives? Any results?
Sure. One of the directives around public safety, of course. We have a violent crime unit that has been dealing with violent crime, but we're also using technology in our policing in a very innovative way. We have flock safety cameras, but we're also implementing drone as first responders. That will allow us to get to scenes much more quickly, assess the situation, and it'll create a safer environment for both our officers and the community that where the response is happening. And those are things that are underway right now.
In Snohomish County, a lot of towns, though, have seen a decrease in unsheltered people. It is not the case in Everett. So when you took office in 2018, you had about 166 unsheltered people. That number has almost gone up almost 100% under your leadership. How do you convince voters that you have a control in this situation?
Well, I'm really grateful that you bring that point up, because I think it's important for people to understand that count that we do of homeless people is a point-in-time count. It's one day in January every year. It's the most difficult day to count individuals experiencing homelessness because they're hard to find. But where you can count them is when they are in a shelter. Those count as unhoused population as well. And in Everett, when I took office, we had less than 90 shelter beds, and by the end of 2026, we will have more than 600. And so it's much easier to actually count those homeless people in Everett because they're receiving services. They at least have a roof over their head for the night, and those are programs that we have brought into place just in the last 8 years.
You have been on the news recently regarding the Fred Meyer closure on Casino Road. You had mentioned that you believe that Fred Meyer, they closed choosing profit over people. The company have said, look, this area has been a nuisance spot for years and years and years. It wasn't an overnight decision. Do you still stand by that statement?
Absolutely stand by that statement. They called me that morning at 7 a.m. to let me know the store was closing, and they cited financial reasons on behalf of Kroger. They did not cite crime. A couple of years ago, probably about 2 or 3 years ago, the store came in contact with us and said, hey, we're having a real challenge with shoplifting. We need your help. We need you to do something, otherwise we might close our doors. And we put all our resources to that. We've had thousands, literally thousands of emphasis patrols at that store.
Grocery stores, typically, they have very slim margins.
Yeah.
And the decision to close, they say, again, it wasn't overnight. They were taking financial losses. Somebody might look at that situation and say, as the mayor of Everett, why weren't you more proactive in the previous year so that way something like this doesn't happen? Because now we have a hole in that community.
I would say I don't think anyone could have been more active than we were. We have been working side by side with that store for over 2 years to ensure their success. And if you ask the other stores around there, I was just at an event with another lovely ethnic grocery store, very close proximity, and they were praising the city because they've seen such a reduction in criminal activity, and their shoppers feel safe coming and going to the store. We'll hear from Franklin's challenger, Scott Murphy, tomorrow right here on Seattle News Tonight.